Hey everybody, it's me again, back with a another Blender video. Call it what you want, a tutorial, blabbing, whatever. Basically, we're back again with this Solid Snake project. As you can see, since the last video, I've done some work on it, and uh, I meant to record this video a while ago. I actually did, but I kind of messed up on it, and I didn't feel like, it was a good video to upload. But we're back. We're gonna try it again. It's round two, and we'll see how this goes. And yeah, let's just go right into it. So we're gonna be covering maps today, and I was kind of pondering the best way to go about this, and I think the best way, in my opinion, is to start off with the color map, aka just the texture. The color texture. Everyone knows about it. Let me just make sure that this is unwrapped, and it is. It's a little funky though. There we go. I don't know what that was about. That should be good now though. And now we're just gonna go up to image editor. Let's go down to I believe it's here. Up texture properties. Okay. Here we go. Okay. You want to be a texture paint. I forgot about that. Texture paint in the viewport first. And then you want to go over to this, a little screwdriver and wrench. I never remember what it's called. Basically, tool settings. And so you can see here we've got textures. Just go ahead and add one. Let's just add a base color. And let's leave that at 1024 by 1024. That's usually how it goes. Let's call this, my mic's in front of my keyboard again, so I have to look over it. Go ahead and call that snake base texture. Let's go ahead and make that. So now, if we choose a color, should be able to paint directly onto the model. So that's how we're going to be doing this. We're gonna, actually, we have technology. We can just take the color picker, and let's try and find. That looks good. That looks like it could work. And first off, we're just gonna turn the radius up a bit. We want to be in paint mode. Why isn't this? Oh, we don't have the texture equipped. There we go. Let's go ahead and cover this entire thing in this whatever base color you want. So basically, base color, as you could probably guess, serves two purposes. At least for us, obviously it's the color. That part's pretty self-explanatory. But also, we're gonna use it to kind of see where to paint all of the bump map details, all of the little skin growths, wrinkles and such. Yeah, we're gonna use this as sort of a guide. Make the color a little bit darker. And we'll go in and start painting here. Go ahead. Do something like that. We're just gonna go ahead and soften that. Just really blend it in. We just want sort of a shadow, sort of artificial light going on. Something very subtle. And we can leave the eye patch a little bit stronger. That might work. Can't really see underneath it anyway. And I think it's good for now. Now, one thing you might notice is his hair looks a little weird. He's kind of balding, you know? And how we're gonna fix that is we're just gonna go ahead and choose, if I can remember what I'm doing here, choose a color as close as you can get to the hair. No. Something like that. And one thing you might want to do is hide the headband for now. It's gonna look weird, but it's just temporary. White paint. There we go. And just gonna go ahead and paint in here. I don't know how much I'm gonna edit this video. I might skip through this part a bit. I think it's important to see the absolute basics of what we're doing, these little tricks. Because believe it or not, this little trick alone took me forever to find out. And it really is as simple as just painting in sort of a fake hairline. That looks fine. Maybe soften the edges a tiny bit. Don't make it as harsh. Sort of have it blend in a bit. And I think that looks fine. We can go ahead and turn the specular down a little bit. A little too shiny. Turn the roughness up. Tiny bit more. And some of this issue is caused by the subsurf. I don't know if we're gonna be covering subsurf maps but as far as I understand, it is pretty much the same process as what I'm going to show you with the bump, the bump maps. So let's just go ahead and add in some more detail here. Go ahead and grab that back. And let's make it maybe a little more red. Now, I'm imagining there's gonna be quite a bit of blood flow, maybe to the nose. Alright, so let's add a tiny bit of that. Let's might be some here around the cheeks. And we're just gonna go ahead and soften that. Once again, just make it really subtle. Just want enough there to sort of imply stuff. But we don't want just patches of color. And you know what? While we're at it, may as well add in like where there might be stubble. So let's go ahead and make this a little bit darker. It's a little more of a grayish color. Let's turn the strength down to about half. Take a look at his beard. Yeah, it's about the same. A little bit on the underside of the chin. And now, you know the drill by now, just go ahead and soften that. Once again, just sort of implying that it's there. May have put a little bit too much, but I think it's fine. It's just to get the point across. Okay, I think that's fine. Now, let's start sort of mapping out where we want to put. I think we're mainly going to be focusing on wrinkles. Probably the easiest thing to work on. Let's just make this even more subtle. Turn the radius down a bit more. And let's say maybe he's starting to form some bags under his eyes. Let's put some wrinkles here. And this is gonna indicate sort of where to put the bump. So we've got the colors here. Got like a nose crinkle. Oh, that's a little too big. Yeah, fuck it, it's fine. Let's add some, where exactly is the cheekbone? So it's like around here. Make it a little uneven, it's fine. And then soften that a little less than we normally would. Still want to be able to see it. There we go. Okay. So that's the fun part. Or at least part of the fun part. Now we're on to the other part of the fun part, I guess. That's why I can describe it. Go ahead and make sure to save the, if I can remember how to save it. Image. Sorry, voice crack there. Image, save. Let's just go ahead and save that. And now we're gonna go back down here where we added our base texture, and we're gonna add another one. And we're gonna go down to bump. Just a bump map. We're gonna call this snake bump. Called snake bump texture. Now, so just to explain real quickly, pretty much every map besides, I guess, usually a normal map and a, what's it called? A color map, which is what we just made. Every other map, pretty much, an alpha texture, a bump map, all of the above, it works on a grayscale, basically. So you can see we've got sort of like a light gray color going on here right now. And that is like base height, right? So just to sort of get the point across, let's kind of zero this out. Okay, never mind. 0, 0, there we go. Okay, so you can see we've got, sometimes it's inverted, I don't know why, or maybe I just have a difficult time remembering, but if we have it as white as we can possibly get the color, if we paint on this, it should, you can see we've raised, it's simulating the light and the shadows to make it appear that this area has been raised. And now if we make it as black as we possibly can, the opposite will occur. Now we're digging into the texture. So that is what we're gonna be working on right now. We're gonna make it a little bit raised. You know, we're gonna work on the nostrils first because this kid. Anyway, let's go ahead and paint that a little. Let's reset here. Let's try this again. So let's make it a little bit higher. Let's turn the radius down. And let's just try this again. Let's dig into the face. Remember, we want to be a little higher. And that's still digging into the face. There we go. Maybe not go as high as we did at one time. And I think putting it onto the actual face a little bit too much, so let's focus mainly on here. There we go. This one's looking a little strange. Keep that one. I think that one looks fine. And I don't want to focus too much on this. Like I said, so let's just put in some nostrils. Real quick. Quick shitty nostrils. That one's a little too shitty, but... And let's just call it a day. That's fine for now. Let's turn this up a little bit higher. It's a little too deep. That's starting to raise. That looks fine, okay. Do that sort of thing. Make sort of like a cavity here. And let's add those little eye wrinkles we were talking about. That's a little too big. There we go. Okay. Once again, soften it. Make it a little less noticeable. This one you want to soften quite a bit. Still a tiny bit of an indent there. It's not very noticeable, but it is there. And I hope this is kind of getting the point across of how to do this, the basic idea. You could spend way more time and it would look better than this. But I think for as short of a time I'm doing this for, it looks fine, it gets the point across. And yeah, that's really all there is to it. I am kind of stubborn though, so when I add that weird little don't know what you'd call it. It's like that little cavity underneath your nose. It's like, it's like where, that little bridge where your nose kind of meets, like, the beginning of your lip. You know, that weird little, like, trench thing. Gonna go ahead and add that. This thing. And maybe some sort of indent there. Just cause why not? You know what I mean? And now from a distance, you'll be seeing it from, like, that distance, right? Usually in a gameplay setting. And from this distance, looks okay. Now, could be better. If you're doing this, spend way more time on it. Like, really, just, like, sit here for a few hours and just make sure every pixel is exactly the way you want it. Before I leave y'all, though, here in your material settings, material nodes and stuff and such, you have this little strength slider, right, and a distance slider. More distance, further away you can see it. And the strength. Now, it's obviously how strong it is. So you noticed it was at 100 and it looked kind of gross, right? Really up close it looked kind of bad. Turn the strength down just a little. We want those wrinkles to be kind of pronounced. And now, from far away, looks better. Alright, so just keep that in mind. You can also invert it if you really want to. Might not want to do that. We're just gonna leave it that way. But that's all for now. I might do some more work on this character, I'm not sure. But for now, that is all. See ya. Please leave a comment down below. You know, maybe a recommendation for another video, anything. Hell, you can even leave a shitpost down in the comments, I really don't care. Like, if you want to. Well, that's all, I'll stop rambling. I'll see y'all.